Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is going to be a selection of highlight clips from the past few days, and we're starting off here on Rancho del Arroyo, where as you will just see I have just spooked a level 5 Bighorn Ram. Now, I tried to track this guy down after he spooked, but unfortunately he basically stopped leaving tracks as he went up through some of the more hilly areas in this location. But thankfully I ended up getting host of the server, so I went back to a lodge, changed the time, came back, and thankfully he was in his drink zone. And I was actually here looking for rare bobcats. This is one of my favourite locations for bobcats. It's the big lake down in the bottom left hand corner of the map. But it was actually a really nice surprise to see a level 5 bighorn here. There's always a good number of male bighorn down here, but this is my first time finding a level 5 in this location. So just going to wait for him to pick his head up there from drinking and take a shot at him with the M1, and that was a very solid vital hit, and as you can see he starts to drop very quickly and he doesn't get very far after that shot. Now, I was pretty confident this guy was going to make diamond. He looked more than big enough, and that was a very solid estimate that he had, but I have been trolled by a lot of bighorn in the past, so gonna pick him up and see what he scores. He is a 167.30 diamond bighorn, which actually makes him slightly bigger than the one I have in my main trophy lodge currently. So that's a really cool find, and it's been a while since I shot a diamond bighorn, so I was really happy with finding this guy. Definitely one to go into the main trophy lodge. Moving on now from Rancho del Arroyo to Parque Fernando, where I ended up having a really cool experience. And I mentioned in a previous video how I've been searching for a Piebald diamond cinnamon teal. Well, finally I got lucky enough to actually spot a level 3 Piebald at this lake here in multiplayer, and I was so excited to finally see a level 3 Piebald. Now, a Piebald diamond cinnamon teal does not count as a super rare because the Piebald teal are just an uncommon, but in my opinion they do look absolutely beautiful, and that is why I've wanted to get one for the trophy lodge. They are such a beautiful looking feather type, and I just really wanted to find one. And honestly, I was so careful about taking that shot, making sure that I was zeroed for the right distance and that I wasn't going to miss him off the water. And as soon as I dropped him, I turned around to scan around the rest of the lake, and what do I spot? Another level 3 teal. Now, getting multiple max level ducks in the same area isn't that rare, but I thought that this one looked darker. I thought that this actually could be another Piebald level 3, and I wasn't sure if it was just the shadows tricking me, but I thought how funny would that be if I have spent this long looking for a Piebald diamond teal and then I find two at the same lake. So I kept an eye on where that other one was and waited for the first one that we just shot to float in, and as you can see this guy is definitely a beautiful Piebald. That coloration is just absolutely gorgeous. I really love how these guys look. I'm picking him up. He is a diamond Piebald cinnamon teal, right on diamond requirement at 4.60, but I honestly couldn't be more happy. This was a trophy that I've been looking for a long time, and like I said, they're not exceedingly rare. You do see a decent number of these guys posted, but I've just never got lucky enough to actually find one until just now. So I was really hyped about this. It's just one of those things, you spend so long looking for something and then finally you get it, and it's just such a cool feeling. But then moving over to go and look at the other level 3 teal, and as he was swimming around, even though he was in the shadows, I could pretty much tell that that was what I thought it was, another level 3 Piebald at the same lake. Just what are the chances of that? You spend so long looking for a specific trophy, and then there's two of them, like, in the same lake. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And this guy's actually a little bit bigger. He is 4.60, as you can see there for the trophy rating, but he's actually 0.47 kgs, so I knew this guy would be actually a little bit bigger when we look at them in the trophy manager, because they are based off of their weight for their score. So he could have scored 4.7, but he's just a little bit lower on the trophy rating, so he is 4.60, but like I said, he should be a little bit bigger than the other one because of having it that higher weight. So that's really awesome, and like I said, it's just so crazy. I have spent so long looking for one, and then to get two like that back to back, just an incredible experience. Moving on now to the Medved tiger portion of this video, and at this tiny little frozen lake in the south, we are looking at this beautiful level 2 piebald musk deer, and he is an absolute stunner. The piebald musk deer are, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful piebalds in this game, and this is only my second time ever seeing one. So managed to drop in there with the 243, and I was super excited to find this. You don't see an awful lot of rare musk deer posted, they're just one of the more uncommon rares to actually find, and yeah, what a beautiful looking animal. The different shades of brown mixed with the white, I think it's just such a beautiful looking piebald. Now he is a silver at 130.90, I expected him to be a silver being a smaller end level 2, but that really doesn't matter to me. The score is not what's important. What's important is that he is a beautiful rare, and he's definitely going to find a place in the main trophy lodge, because like I said, you don't see an awful lot of these rare musk deer posted, and I really love them. I think they're an incredible species in this game. I really like them. I know a lot of people don't, but I just think they're incredibly unique and very beautiful. So yeah, very happy to find this guy. Moving on now to the next clip in this video, and again here on Medved Tiger, I ended up finding in a different multiplayer session a level 9 brown bear. Now this was really exciting for me, as I've only ever spotted a couple of level 9 brown bears, and it's always really exciting to see that 9 legendary pop up. So I made him go alert here just so I could get an easy vital shot, and right as he's roaring I lined up and managed to drop him with a heart shot. That was really cool. I didn't exactly plan to shoot him while he was mid-roar, but it ended up looking pretty cool. And he is a really beautiful looking bear. He is the cinnamon fur type, and he is a diamond at 28.20, so he's a really decent sized diamond brown bear. And it was actually hard to try and get a screenshot of this guy because of how I shot him. You can see from the harvest screen he was literally mid-roar when I took that shot. So that was a really cool one. Like I said, I've not seen a whole lot of legendary brown bears, so every time I get to see one, it's always really exciting, and I was so happy with that. Moving on to this next clip now, and you'll see I'm running around here in the dark on Medved Tiger, and that's because I was hunting wild boar in their drink time, when I ended up picking up that track you will have just seen pop up on screen. That was the track of a melanistic female wild boar. Now, I have been hunting looking for rare wild boar for a long time, as I really wanted to add some to the trophy lodge, and the only rare wild boar I've ever shot was a Blackgold female on Xbox, and I really wanted to find a melanistic and an albino. Picking up that track and seeing the melanistic pop up, I was so excited. These are incredibly rare. You very rarely ever see these get posted. They're just really rare. And it's really interesting to note that even in the dark, if you compare her to the female stood next to her, she does look noticeably darker, and I didn't know if that would actually be a thing. Now, as I got closer, she actually did start to move off as it was getting closer to the end of their drink time, so I decided I would sneak along slowly and try and follow her through the brush here, and this ended up in a wild experience that I'm so lucky that I got to have. She basically ended up being a couple of meters ahead of me and going alert. I thought they'd already gone and spooked off, but no, they were still there. So I quickly got the M1 out, and this meant that we got to take a pretty cool close-up look at her before she actually turned around to start walking away again. I'm really lucky that when I started to move a bit more quickly that they didn't just go and spook off immediately, because otherwise I would never have gotten to have that really cool close-up experience. And then she actually ended up going attentive, and I think because of how everything was, because of how much cover there was here, and because of the really good wind direction, it just made it that much harder for them to actually detect me, and I think that's what really paid off in this situation. And she stops here and gives me a perfect broadside shot, so I managed to drop her on the spot with the M1. That was such a cool experience. I love having encounters like that with rare animals or big animals in this game. I just think it's always really cool to interact with them a little bit before you drop them. And when I have host of the server like I did here, there's no need to really rush, so it meant that I got to have a really cool encounter. but taking a look at her, you can really notice how much darker she is compared to a normal wild boar. And like in the face, there's a lot more sort of grey and ash tones, which I think is really, really pretty. And these guys are so rare. You don't see a lot of melanistic wild boar posted ever. They're just really not a common one to find, and I was so stoked to actually finally get to see one. And it's pretty wild that I found this before finding a Blackgold or an albino on PC. To go and find a melanistic as my first rare wild boar on PC was pretty nuts. And to find it at night on Medved Tiger. This is why I always say pick up tracks, because I might not have noticed maybe if if I was running by and I just took a quick glance at that group, I might not have noticed her if she was in the back. But picking up all the tracks that you can, it's led me to some fantastic trophies, and this is just another one of the many amazing trophies I've found by picking up those tracks and just checking that fur type. I still can't believe I got lucky enough to find one of these absolutely incredible rares. I was so excited. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, even cooler to find it at night. Finding melanistics at night I just think is really cool. And yeah, on Medved as well. Really awesome experience. Now, I then moved on to go and try and hunt some lynx and see if I could find any cool rares or diamonds for them, when I ended up picking up a different wild boar track on the other side of the map. And it was a Blackgold female wild boar track. This is why I say pick up all the tracks. I wasn't hunting wild boar in that area at all, but I saw a wild boar track, picked it up, checked the fur type, and it's another rare. And it was so funny because I had just said to my fiance and to a couple of my friends in Discord, oh, maybe that means the curse of me not being able to find any rare wild boar is over now that I've shot that melanistic. And then literally maybe 20 minutes later, I pick up this track. And I couldn't believe it. And this Blackgold female took me on such an incredible track. She went around in all kinds of weird directions, and she wasn't leaving tracks in some places. It was an insane track. It took an awful long time to actually find where she was. And then finally, once I did get her to a zone, I decided, okay, I have host of this server. I'm going to go and get the bow and try and take her with the bow. And literally in the time that it took me to go back to a lodge and come back, she just vanished. They were completely gone. I couldn't find any tracks for them. They were just gone. I reset the time. They didn't come back. I reset the time again. They didn't come back. And in the end, I ended up running around in the same area again, picked up her tracks, and ended up tracking her back to the need zone again. It was just so wild. She just did not want to cooperate at all. But I was not going to lose this rare wild boar, so I said, right, as soon as I see her again next time and she gives me a decent shot, I will take her with the M1. And that's exactly what she did there. I could see an opportunity to get a shot into a lung, and as you can see, she didn't go more than a couple of steps before she actually fell over, and that is an awesome looking rare. So these are actually a rare for wild boar. Blackgold wild boar are rare. They're not a rare for the feral hogs or feral pigs though. So it's an interesting one that they decided to do that, but they do look absolutely beautiful on the wild boar here. Absolutely awesome. And this is only the second one I've ever shot. My first one on PC. What an awesome animal. And you can see the track there is 3.62 kilometers. I would say that there was at least double that in tracking her from when I initially found her, and then all the changing of the time to try and get her back to her zone. It was a wild experience, but I was so glad that I actually managed to find her and take her down in the end, and take 2 rare wild boar from this server. It was a completely unhunted Medved server, which is why I decided to stick around and go through and hunt loads of different animals in their drink times, like hunt the lynx, hunt the bears, hunt the reindeer, and of course hunt the wild boar. But to get the melanistic, in their drink time, but I didn't initially spot her, that was from a track. And then opposite side of the map, get a track from another wild boar, and it be another rare. It was just so crazy. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. A couple of really special trophies in this one that I was really excited to share with you all. So I really hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you all, as always, for all your support. It really does mean the world to me. And thank you so much for watching the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.